Why was Albert Einstein's brain stolen? Is it found? Where is it now? Famous physicist Albert Einstein, at the age of 76, on April 17, 1955, applied to Princeton Hospital in New Jersey, USA, with a complaint of chest pain. The next morning, he passes away due to the bursting aortic aneurysm. Immediately after the death, Einstein's funeral is put into an autopsy, which is usually a routine practice to understand the cause of death in this sudden death. During his autopsy, Thomas Stoltz Harvey was on duty that night, and Einstein had to determine the cause of death. Dr. Harvey takes a lot of photos of the brain, then divides the brain into 170 pieces. Instead of putting the brain parts back into the skull after taking their photos, he secretly puts them in a jar full of formaldehyde, takes the jar home and hides it under his desk. His plan is to look for new inventions by examining the brain. However, Harvey is a pathologist and not a brain specialist. Therefore, he needs to get help. He transfers the subject to his former teacher. When his teacher and also the doctor of Einstein heard about this, he had the same dreams as Harvey and also gave an interview to the newspaper. He says that Einstein's brain is in them and that the work they will do on it will be very important for humanity. Einstein's family, who sees the news the next day, is shocked and comes in the hospital, but the authorities promise that the brain will be used for science, and persuade the family. However, they was very angry with Harvey. Hospital officials ask Harvey to hand over the brain to the family, but when he disagrees with it, they then fire it out of the hospital. Harvey takes the jar with the brain and starts work at another hospital. With a technician in this hospital, he divides the brain into 240 pieces. He sends these pieces he cut to scientists around the world to whom he does not know, for examination, and does not turn those who ask for pieces. The strangest of these is the request of Sugimoto Kenji, a professor at Kinki University in Japan in 1994. Professor Kenji is fascinated by Einstein, and getting a piece out of Einstein's brain is his biggest dream. He falls on the road to realize this dream and comes to America with a documentary film crew. While tracing the brain, he finally meets Thomas Harvey. He now comes to Harvey's house, an old man, and asks him for a piece from the brain of the famous physicist. After a short hesitation, Harvey accepts this request, goes to the kitchen and brings a breadboard and a knife from there. Kenji and cameraman take out the famous brain from a jar that is hard to open and slice the lid, slices the brain on the breadboard and puts the piece it separates into an old jar of medicine. He adds formaldehyde to the jar and follows himself with a little surprise and a little excitement. Thomas Harvey is the head of the Department of Pathology at Princeton University. He delivers it to Elliot Krauss. Thus, Einstein's strange journey to his brain ends with his family's donation of the remaining pieces in Harvey to the National Museum of Health and Medicine in the state of Maryland in 2010.